Symphonic Distribution presents Next Up, a show about hip-hop culture, music, and art with DJ Sandman.
Next up, I believe that's me. Next up, I believe that's me. Next up, I believe that's me. Next up, I believe that's me.
And now, your host, DJ Sandman.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? DJ Sandman. Welcome to another edition of Next Up. And today, I got a very, very, very special guest that's going to be joining me in the studio. And look, I got hype when the intro came on. Look, I'm just going to bring her on right now. I've introduced her many times on stages, but right now, I'm getting to talk to her and bring her to you guys right here. Let's bring her on. She goes by the name of your girl, DY, a.k.a. Dynasty.
I was hype on the intro too, D. What up?
I know. Look, I got real hype on the intro because that's actually your record right there.
I got stories to tell that the feeling my spirit. Where you turn that, D? Let's go.
And I was ready to start performing right when that came on.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I was going to do the dropouts. For those that don't know, that's Dynasty's record on the intro that I used for Next Up. It's called Star in the Sky.
Right.
Featuring Sky Zoo.
That was dope.
DY, I miss you.
I miss you too, Deej. This is dope. I love this.
It's been a minute.
I know. It's crazy because it's been a minute, but it's like it feels like the time is flying. But it has been,
Right. You know what though? It's been a minute since we've been rocking stages. It's been a minute since we've been rocking stages, and since I seen you. Since you moved all the way from Tampa, where we used to rock a lot.
I know. A minute is an understatement as far as how long we've been rocking. Like
right.
We're talking over a decade now.
Yeah, but it's real good to see you. And we just played your record on the podcast, DYLA, right? So I'll jump right into that real quick because on the record you said that Queens was your home. Queens raised you. What did you say? Queens made me.
Tampa helped raise me. Now I'm out in LA. Let's see where this thing takes me.
Right. So we met. For those that don't know your story, because I know we got some new listeners, some new fans. Dynasty from Queens, and then you and I connected in Tampa, in 2009.
Yeah.
2009, right? And we always tell the story, at the Little Brother show. And then
sold out concert, Crowbar, shouts to Crowbar. Yeah,
shout out to Crowbar for real in Tampa. And that was like a legendary venue, legendary time for me. Cause when I met you, I saw how you commanded the crowd. And I always tell some people that because I really didn't know your music, but the way that you held the stage down and just touched the people, it was just amazing. And then right there, I knew that you were special. You know what I mean? You weren't just a local artist. You're just special. The way you connected with everybody.
Thanks, Deej.
You're welcome. But yeah, so for those that don't know, that's when we linked up, and then and then you've been, man, that was a long time ago. But you've done so much stuff since then, And
yeah. It's been crazy. But sorry, my bad. Go ahead. I just started getting flashbacks. We did so much since then.
No, I know. What it is I haven't seen you or chilled with you in a while, and we did all these amazing things, and it's good to have you here to talk to you about some of them. So what I was saying, when you and I met, and we did that show, and then that led to a mixtape called Dream Pusher that we put together, and that led to this was unbelievable to me, the legendary DJ Premier,
yes.
reaching out. Because
you sent him FemC.
Yeah, I sent him FemC.
And he was like, I like this.
Yeah, I remember the day when he hit me back, yo, I like this. I'm going to play it on my show tonight on Sirius XM. I was excited. I hit you immediately, and then I really didn't believe it at first. I still didn't believe it. But Premier was true, man. He played it and he showed that love. And then
on his mixtape, toured with it.
Yeah, he toured all over the world with that on his mixtape.
On the road again, yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yep, shout out to DJ Premier, man. That was big right there.
Yeah.
And then that led to you doing a record with Premier.
Yep. Like, so a couple years later, he comes through town, through Tampa. You hook it up where we could slide through, catch him at sound check.
Right.
And a record. Again, being like, yeah, right, all right. You really
I know. I didn't believe that either. But I know, you know, Premier and I were cool, and he was, for everyone that don't know, he was coming to Tampa to DJ Derek Jeter's Celebrity Weekend, charity weekend that he does at the Hard Rock Cafe here in Tampa, man. So DY and I rolled up to meet Premier because I'd met him before, but he had never met you. So that was exciting. And then you guys clicked. You said, I want that beat right there. And he's like, you want that beat right there? And he really sent it.
How you know who made that beat?
Yeah, that was crazy. And that turned into Epic Dynasty, which was on DJ Premier's album. So that was real big. And then like that was unbelievable in my career, right? And I know it was unbelievable in your career that we did that. And then with Premier putting that on this mixtape and taking it around the world, and then just the love and the support that we got from fans and pushing it, then we found ourselves overseas touring on the other side of the world as well, right?
2013,
going to Germany and Austria.
Yep. 6 stops, I want to say 5 or 6 stops on that first tour.
Yeah, that was amazing. I know for me, I was a little nervous because I didn't travel too much. You know, I never traveled out of the country, and I didn't know what to expect when we got over there to Germany. But you know what I love though is that they love the music. And when we first touched down, I remember that first show. You came out, and when you're doing Magnificent, the whole crowd was singing the words. They were rapping along with you.
Yeah. Well, the first show was that in Gina? Jena.
First show.
Yeah, that was the first one.
That was the first one. And I was amazed, you know, that the music traveled and touched so many people, that they knew all the words in another country. That was great.
Oh my God, I was so nervous. That was the first one. I remember being like in like a kind of basement type area, right?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
And like, what you gonna play? You gonna play Simon Says, da 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 da. Like, you know, I remember being so shook, and then came out, and the love was just insane. So
yeah, man, that was great.
Wow,
that was great. And then that led to more tours. You know, like you've been over there multiple times to Europe, but just off of you know your music.
Yeah,
it's beautiful thing, man. Hip hop took you all around the world. Right. And I remember, speaking of one of the tours, we were in, where were we at? We were in Switzerland, I think. And a few years ago, we were in Switzerland, and we had a couple off days. Yeah, we had a couple off days, and that's when you told me we were having breakfast one day, and you're like, Deej, I think I'm gonna move to LA. Like, I got a little sad, you know, and yeah, that's when you first told me. We were in Switzerland having breakfast. We were eating cheese and bread, and you know how the breakfast is a little different over there. We were having breakfast, and that's when we had that conversation. Because I know you had been there before and you visited and you was thinking about it, but that's when you told me, I think I'm gonna make that move. I'm gonna go to LA. And that's when you started planning the like, you know, your going away party from Tampa to LA. You don't remember that? Yeah.
So that must have been 2017?
Yeah, it had to be. We were over there. I think it was 2017.
Wow, yeah.
Yeah. And I knew you were gonna do it because that's the type of person you are. Like you're like a free spirit. You know what I mean? Like you just do what you want to do. And that's what I love and admire about you. You know, you don't let anything hold you back. You just go for it, you know, for your dreams. And as long as I've known you, you've always been pushing that, you know, the dream pusher, you know, from the mixtape to the intro to everything that you do and you're about. So I knew that you were definitely going. I was a little sad, I'm not going to lie, but I knew you're going to do it. But I love that about you, that you just get up and you follow, you know, where your heart takes you, what you want to do.
Thank you for saying that, Deej. Thank you. That feels good because, you know, with this whole pandemic thing, you know, and not moving, you know, sometimes I forget.
Right.
But I appreciate that reminder because,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, I do get up and go and make it happen and be free and push for my dreams. That's what you're right, D.
Yeah. You don't let anyone. You got the tattoo. You don't let anyone hold you back. You know, you just go for it. You just go for it. And I think that's like, you know, in life that holds a lot of people back, like being afraid to do something. You know, kind of having those insecurities. I know that's held me back in some things that I want to do, but I've always admired that about you, that you don't let that get in the way and you just do it. Like even coming from Queens to Tampa, you know, like you're in like the mecca of hip hop. You know, you're raised and born there in Queens, and I know you were into a little bit of hip hop, like Das Effects and stuff, Black Star. You know, those were like inspiring groups to you, but I know you weren't getting busy like on stages. I know you were doing your thing in college and all that, but you weren't getting
I
busy.
was kind of chilling a little bit. Yeah.
Yeah. Then you came out of the blue. You moved from New York to Tampa, of all places.
Literally, because it was warm. Ain't no a soul. Well, no, my uncle lived there, but
right.
Didn't know.
You didn't know anybody.
Anyone. And literally visited with a friend in like November, and it was 80 degrees. And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna move here. That was November, and then January, I packed my car, and got on the road and left. I had also just bought my convertible that year, my convertible Mustang.
Oh yeah, shout out to the Mustang.
Shouts to the Mustang. I was feeling so fly in the summer and the fall, but I knew it was about to get really real in the winter. And I wasn't going to be so cute when the wheels was just spinning in the snow.
Okay.
Because the car was light, you know. So I was like, I'm gonna just get out of here, and I just did.
Yeah, you just got up and did it, man, and that's what I'm saying. I admire that about you. Same thing. That's why when you told me that you were gonna make that move to LA, I knew it was gonna happen.
Yeah,
I was a little bit sad just because for those that don't know, I've been Dynasty's DJ ever since we met. You know, and we've rocked many shows, like we were talking all over Europe, but here locally, you know, where I'm at too, you know, the Black Heritage Festivals, the like
so many things.
So many, we had so many dope experiences. So I was gonna miss you a little bit, but I was happy that you were getting out there to do your thing in LA. And I know you were actually going out there too to pursue music and acting, really. Mm-hmm. You know, because you're natural at that. I'm just letting you know. You know.
Thanks,
you're welcome. Of course. So you've been out in LA, and I know this is pre-pandemic, and things were going pretty well for you, man. I saw you popping up in some commercials.
Yeah. I'm sorry.
No. So just how did LA accept you and get your hustle on out there?
You know, LA was beautiful. Really kind of hit the ground running. I'll say after like a couple of months. You know, got situated. So I had just, again, didn't know. I knew I didn't have anybody there either. You know, I knew, you know, Nat, but like never chilled in Tampa. You know, he had been gone there just as long, like right after I moved to Tampa. So we didn't have.
Yeah. So he wasn't in our circle here in Tampa when you were here.
Right. And then my girl Lyric Jones, another MC, we had only been social media friends for years. You know what I'm saying? And then actually shouts to her because she's the one who was like, yo, why don't you come out here and crash with me for a week and just see if you like it? Mm-hmm. And that's when I fell in love with LA. And she had never met me until the day I pulled up in front of her house to crash on her couch.
Really?
Yeah. Wow. And that's when I fell in love. That was November 2017. So I say that to say, again, another situation where I was moving to a city, not really knowing anybody.
Right.
Rented an Airbnb for my first 2 months so I could figure it out and see. Mm-hmm. I didn't know the areas, this area from that area, you know?
Yeah.
And, but I got out there and started popping up at the open mics, just like I did in Tampa. Unassumingly, chilling in the cut.
Right. And then
what I fell in love with about LA was that they had a lot of live music open mics. And I used to be like, dang, I want to add some live instrumentation to what we do. I was kind of in that space. So I was like, okay, which also worked because I didn't have you. You know what I'm saying? Okay, let me try this. Let me go to these open mics where they jamming with the bands, And so I will wait for them to start playing something that I like. And then just get up there, take the mic. And then
they're like, who is this girl right here? Like, where is she?
Like, who is?
Yeah. I could imagine. Especially when you're on that stage, because that's what you do when you're on stage. You just shut it down.
That's my love. That is my love. So
yeah, I know. So I know this is tough. Like, the pandemic, COVID came, and all the stages are shut down right now, man. I feel bad. Yeah.
Ooh, that thing. I'm finally coming out of my funk. It's been hard. And so love to all of the performing artists, because when that becomes a party. That's what I've been doing for the last 10 years. You know what I'm saying? I have not gone 6 months without touching the stage in over a decade.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, and that's a part of your purpose, and how, well, for me, a part of my purpose and how I connect with people, and that energy exchange is like life-giving for me. You know what I'm saying? So to not have that, it was really, really challenging. And then to have been doing so well in LA and making so much progress, and on the acting side too, which I was like, I'm positioning myself to be able to use one to support the other. You know what I'm saying? Like moves are being made. It's all working together for my good. I had just gotten signed to an agency in February for acting and print modeling. And then March is like,
they just shut it all down.
So it was very, very, very challenging. Like I miss it so much. But LA, I gotta say, from moving out there in 2018 was just, it was great. I never woke up and said, why did I move here? Not once.
Okay, that's beautiful then. That's what I wanted to know, if you regretted it. So you hadn't regretted it. I know back here in Tampa, we miss you. The whole community misses you, but they all still loved you and supported you making that move,
Tampa's always supported us and supported me, from Little Brother show to the time, Ekin dropped me on the radio, and then you started dropping me on the radio, and like Tampa's always been like, okay, Don, I get it. Go, we see you. Yeah, so I'm forever like indebted, and I'm always gonna show my love and gratitude, to Tampa, because like I left the big city, went there, and was able to really have a community that saw me, and like put me on their shoulders, like go get it.
Yeah, and just push you out to the world. That's what we did. That's what I tried to do, and that's what the whole community tried to do, because we saw that that light that you shine. You touch a lot of people with your music. Just in everything you do, your positivity, just everything you do. It's it's inspiring.
But I always really gotta check it out too, because when I did come there, even though I was hopping on stages, remember, I just wanted to perform. Remember, I was like, I just perform. I don't want to record no songs.
I remember you were like, you was kind of afraid of the studio, I think. You're like,
I just didn't like it. I like the energy exchange. So for me, standing in the box, rapping on it, just felt like, and you were like, nah, you gonna need to buy. like we do shows, people want stuff. You know what I'm saying? Like you just because you were like, let's just have fun, just go for it. And I was like, okay, and so started recording with Jinx. Shouts to Jinx, and
shout out to Jinx.
Got the mixtape together, And it was like, okay, yeah, people do want the product. People came out to that release party. People bought it up. And so after that, when I was like, okay, yeah, I could do this. I could record and make some projects. But initially, I was like, I want to perform. So just tell me where to be. Like,
right. Yeah, that's true. It's true that you say that, because I feel the same way as a DJ, because I'm talking about COVID too, because that shut down all the DJs and the parties and stuff too. And I feed off of the crowd's energy when I'm playing music. You know, I just feed off their energy. I don't really have a set planned out or anything. I'm just feeding off their energy. And then I've been live streaming, you know, for all these months, and it's a whole lot different, you know, because I don't have the people in front of me. You're not seeing their reactions. So it's a whole different thing. I kind of feel what you're saying. You know, when you're on stage,
because you're still a performer. As a DJ, you're still a performer.
Right. But you did go in the studio and you made a lot of amazing music, though. So I'm proud of you for that.
Thanks, D. Because I be forgetting. I be feeling like I haven't done anything. And I'm like, wait a minute. You did that.
Nah, man, you did a lot of amazing music. You know, the Dream Pusher mixtape, of course, but then the Star and Life's Clothing album. Come on.
Oh, I thought you meant since like COVID, but yeah, over the years, like I'm proud of the work that did come out of me. You know what I'm saying? Because at each time it was like, can I do this again? I felt like, can I do it? Can I keep going? You know, and so from A Star in Life's Clothing to the Love EP. No, the Love EP was first.
The Love EP was first. Yep, Dream Pushers first, then the Love EP.
Then A Star in Life's Clothing.
Right. Then you dropped the Love EP 2.
Then the Love EP 2.
Right.
Then Forever DY. No, okay. Forever DY. Then the Love EP 2.
Then the Love EP 2. Okay. I got the vinyls in the back.
I see you.
Yeah, I got the vinyls up there.
Dream Pusher, the Love EP, A Star in Life's Clothing, Forever DY, the Love EP 2.
The Love EP 2.
Project.
It's a lot of music. So you went in the studio and you did your thing. One of the listen, on one of the projects, I remember Talib Kweli, Black Star. Right? I remember you actually, a lot of people don't know this, you did 2 records with him, but only one came out.
Did you say Black Thought?
Black Star.
Oh, I was like
Black Star, Talib Kweli. Going back to you growing up, you was a fan of Black Star, and then one day we're in Deep Productions with Brian Tyson, and Talib Kweli was in town. He hit me. He was working on a mixtape, and I had to have you come through. I'm like, D, you got to come through. And then he ended up asking you to write, and I was nervous for you because that was like a DJ Smalls mixtape that he was doing, and it was just like this down south double time beat that he was rhyming on. So I knew you was nervous because I was nervous.
I was shook.
I was nervous.
Is an understatement. My hands were shaking. I had to sit on my hands.
Right.
To stop them from shooting.
I know. And in Talib, I was with shout out to Deacon. He was with me. So Talib and Deacon and I, after he recorded, I remember this. We went to like a bar down the street. So because Talib's like, yeah, let's just let her finish writing and let her record, then we'll come back. Because he didn't want to
a bar.
Yeah, we went to a bar. It was like CDB.
I have all these years or something like that.
Nah, it was CDB's, like a pizza. It's like a pizza joint in a bar. And I know they said at the bar I was sipping on my water, and they were drinking Jameson, and we was talking about music. Yeah, then we came back and heard the verse, and Talib loved it. And then that mixtape never came out.
Ever.
Yeah, never came out. I still got the record though, but the mixtape never came out. But
oh
then,
my God, I want to hear that because I don't think it was that good.
You don't think it was that good? I'll send it to you. All right.
I
got a few joints that's unreleased from you that I was listening to a few weeks ago, and a couple of them is real dope, like real dope. There's like 2 that I like a lot. I don't even know where they came from. I just have them. During quarantine, I've been going through old hard drives and pulling off music, you know, like stuff that I hadn't looked at in a few years. So I found like 2 or 3 records. I know you did 2 records with Reese's Pieces, but one of them I like.
Nasty.
Yeah. There's another one too. I got to ask you where it came from. I'll ask you later.
Oh, I know the one, Dreaming.
Is it dreaming?
If I'm dreaming, please don't wake me. Floating on a cloud to higher levels you take me. No.
Yeah, I think that's
With
it.
singer on the hook or something like that.
I'm gonna send it to you too. I'm gonna send you the joints.
Send it to me. Send it to me. Yeah, because you were playing something. One time you were live, I think on my birthday. You were playing joints. I was like, what is this?
Yeah, I was playing some of your some remixes that I had.
When did you do this remix? Where did this remix come from?
Yeah.
It's been that long, Deej.
Yeah, no. See, you got a lot of music. So after that time, you forget about some of the older stuff.
Yeah,
The the songs that you're not performing on stage every night.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Got me up in there like a Gladys and Aretha. Aretha. Gladys and Patty. You know, put my lyrics up on them.
Right. But look, so that first session with Talib Kweli, like I know you were nervous and the song never came out, but then we had another chance to work with Talib on a record called Stay Shining.
Yeah.
Yeah, and
How did you do that again? You just asked him, right?
I just asked him, yeah. I mean you were working on your album, and I just reached out to him and I sent him. Jinx sent me 2 records, 2 beats. And I sent that I think you would like both beats, and I sent him both beats, and Talib's like, I like this one. And that was it, man. And then he jumped on the record.
And then he came, we went in the studio, knocked that out, got the recording and a video at the same time. Just 2013.
2013. Dope. Shout out to Talib, man. That was beautiful too.
That was dope.
Definitely appreciate Talib. He always showed love, man. Always does, you know. Yeah, we just had a lot of great history, man. A lot of great experiences.
It's
a lot of great experiences.
A wonderful journey. Like, we've done things that, people get signed to major labels and they don't do. Truth and
right.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
that is true.
Many artists, the dream is to get signed, and then they do that, and then they kind of sit.
Right.
Or
they don't get to control their career like they want it because they can't release music. And that's the beauty of being independent. But at the same time, it is a struggle, to get heard.
Oh, yeah. It's a grind. It is.
It's a nonstop grind, and
just trade-offs. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you can get yourself into the right situation, but yeah. So.
And that's what I always look at it that way, because a lot of people that look up to me as a DJ, like, like in my city, they're like, yo, how do you do this? How do you get on the radio? How are you on stages with these people? And how I want to be like you. I want to do what you do. And I never really have an answer. Like, I just love the music, and I love the music and what I do. So I just do it. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
There's not like a formula. Like, I'm not, I don't know. It's just, it's weird, but that's kind of how I look at you. Like, you just love what you do. You love touching people, even when you're not on stages. You're doing things for the kids. Like you're touching kids' lives. You're mentoring people, and you're just connecting. And it's that love and that energy that you put out in the world. And it's just like, that's what I tell them. It's just, I put out, what the love and energy that I put out, I just kind of get it back.
Everybody, I'm saying, man, you're so supportive. You know what I'm saying? Even like as you shift gears in your career, still, doing what you love and taking it to the next level, like with this platform, like,
right.
You always giving back. Before I even popped up in town, you know what I'm saying? You were doing that you had like, TampaHipHop.com. You had a forum for people to connect and build a community. You know what I'm saying? So you've been doing this. I love how you have shifted over the years. You know what I'm saying? And adjusted to keep. I know your emails are crazy as always. They've probably been for the last 2 years, but like seeing you, radio thing for what, 15, 14?
Yeah, like 15, 16 years. 15 years I was mixing on 95.7 The Beat. Yep. And
then I'm sure when you went in, you didn't go in right away with the freedom to do what you wanted to do. But then you moved with that to be able to give people opportunities to be heard on the radio. Now you got Hillsborough popping, we have the podcast. Like you're
Yeah, I thank you, DY. I appreciate it. I appreciate it. I just love the music. I always loved the music. It touched me when I was young, like hearing the stories and just everything that hip hop was talking about. Like, and I always wanted to just play the music that inspired me, and that's kind of why I started DJing. And then go to the radio. Like, I was always a fan of hip hop DJs. I always wanted to be on the radio, listening to Kenny K in Tampa, listening to Cool DJ Red Alert. And then I was able to go in the station unpaid for a few years, and I still just made them sacrifices because that's what I wanted to do. I wanted to play music on the radio, and it lasted for 16 years. I just got off of iHeart earlier this year, the beginning of 2016, and then the pandemic hit, so I was kind of like shut down for a little bit too. But
now look at you.
But now we're back, and I'm doing the Next Up podcast with Symphonic Distribution. Shout out to Jorge. Shout out to them, man, for real, because they've been a blessing, and I have this opportunity to do Hillsborough Records.
Yeah.
We're still putting out, and I can put out. That's what we're doing now, Hillsborough Records, and I want to thank you because you were the first. I had to reach out to you, for my venture, and the first release off of Hillsborough Records, the Attention record. I played it on the first episode of Next Up. So if you're listening now, go back and check it. It's on all streaming platforms now. The video's fire and everything. Tell me about that record, because you had that record. It was perfect because you had it. The record's called Attention. And it was perfect, like, for me with Hillsborough, because I'm like, I need y'all's attention for what I'm about to do next. Yeah, so it just, and we didn't even plan it like that.
It just really worked out.
Yeah, some people were hitting me that like, yo, you got her to do this record called Attention. I'm like, nah, she already had that record, Attention. Yeah. It just went out yet. But see, it's this universe how it worked out. But tell me about that record. Like,
yeah, I got with my homie Word, who we met while touring in Germany, and he's LA based now. He goes back and forth between Germany and LA. Okay. And he's like, let's do something. Went through the studio, gave me a beat, and the lyrics just came. Sometimes you get those joints where the lyrics just go.
Right.
And I love that record. So it was dope to get to, drop it as the first drop on
Hillsborough.
So yeah, if you guys haven't seen it yet, pull it up, listen, watch the video, all of that good stuff. Super dope.
I appreciate it, man. I just loved how, I still think it's funny that everyone really thinks that was planned. I've had so many people hit me, be like, yo, y'all playing that so good. Yeah, it's just, yeah. Look, we just know each other. We've been moving through these streets for a minute.
For a long time.
You know what I'm saying? And then everybody's like, yo, so when's the album coming? And I'm like, D is just doing her, man. She's like,
I'm just doing me right now.
She got songs here and there, you know what I mean? But like I know you can't touch those stages right now. So it's a little bit of different space going on.
Yeah, it's a very different space. So I'm just really creating as it comes, but I'm excited about what's to come, with my programming. I'm working on more. I started doing, I was doing a Dream Pusher Unplugged, and I started doing it where it's more interactive. So I'm doing like special events for women, starting with the fellas. I'll figure something out for y'all too, but where it's music and it's conversation and it's just encouraging each other. And I had started doing that before this hit. So that's something people can look for from me. I'm excited about that and working on getting that together. And I'll talk more about that when it's ready to drop. But just so everybody knows, like keep an eye out and ear out for that, and still working on creative projects along the way too. So still working.
That's beautiful. I can't wait to see everything that you do, man. Because everything you do, you put your heart and your life into it. You know what I mean? And it's a beautiful thing. You always preach that in your music. I give you all of me with no fronting. I love that line right there because it's so true.
Yes, I appreciate that.
All right, so we're gonna go ahead and jump off. We've been talking for a while. We got to jump back into some more music. I appreciate you coming on and hanging out with me, DY.
I appreciate you, D. I'm proud of you.
Thank you. I'm proud of you too. Let everybody know where they can find you, be in touch with you at, and all of that good stuff.
Your Girl Dynasty. I mainly hang out on Instagram these days, but I'm on Facebook too. If you can find me under my government. And but my Facebook page is under Your Girl DY. Instagram, Your Girl Dynasty. Twitter, the same. And the website is yourgirldy.com.
Perfect. Thank you so much, DY.
Thanks.
Always love, and I'm gonna talk to you in a little bit. All right, bye-bye. Peace.